Oh, here's one that shouldn't be on the channel here. How to fix the Hoshisaki ice maker. We used to have a wedding venue. And in that wedding venue, we had an ice maker. And the ice maker's gears got messed up. And you had to replace the entire gearbox and motor for about $1,500 to replace a silly little fiber gear. So I manufactured some fiber gears to fix it. And somebody's asking about that. And so the answer is I don't make them anymore. Sorry, you're on your own on that one. Sal Jr., what happens if you mix two platinums together? You get platinums every single time. Always, platinums will make platinums. If I put my lilac and tan Merle female with a new shade Isabella stud, what would my pups be? Well, so a new shade Isabella is both versions of chocolate, and your lilac is little co, little co. So what do you get? You get lilacs that carry testable chocolate every time, all the puppies. I have an ATA, which is a tan-pointed dog, Big B, not chocolate, NCO, one copy of cocoa, Little D, Big D, one copy of blue. I was wondering that is that new shade? No, it's not new shade. What will I need to get new shade out of him? You can't get new shade out of him because he's got Big B. He's got to have both versions of chocolate. He's only got one copy of its CO, untestable chocolate or cocoa. So he can produce lilacs. He cannot produce new shades. There's the short answer on that one. Ricardo Vega says, first off, you shouldn't do an AI if you're getting it shipped. Do a surgical. Why risk it? I got a slightly different attitude about this than you do, Ricardo. So, our shipping system works so beautifully well. You can keep semen alive, get it shipped to you, and stick it in the fridge for up to 10 days. That's kind of stretching it a bit, but certainly for 4 or 5 days successfully. So, what I like to do is I don't do surgicals out here. I don't do surgicals for a number of reasons. The first off, if I was going to do a surgical, I'd rather do a TCI. Surgicals, the dog has to be intubated, so it has to have anesthesia, it has to have its stomach cut open, so it's expensive, and there is a certain amount of risk of infection. I like TCIs in those situations, but what I like is 2 inseminations vaginally, or 1 vaginal and 1 TCI, 2 to 3 days apart. That's what I like. And our shipping system, I am now at something around 7,000 consecutive shipments without a failure in semen. It absolutely works. The other systems out there, not so much. They are very hit and miss, especially on trips that take more than a day. Nadine Lucas, what is the longest a female can be in heat? I kept my French's female away from males for 23 days. Now I have a West Highland Frenchie mix. Oh, I see. Well, yes, right. Yeah. Well, it's very variable, isn't it? So here's the deal. You can have a dog that has a split heat. Comes into heat, everything starts rolling up, like it looks like that dog's ready to be bred. Everything dies down. Nothing happens for another 3 weeks. Comes back in heat again, starts the whole process again. A week later, it's ready to be bred. That's a whole 4 weeks, right? That's 28 days right there. That dog would have got bred by your West Highland if you'd left it alone with them. So, I would say, what do you do on this? The only way that you can truly tell what's going on is a progesterone test. If you did a progesterone test, you'd know when the numbers are above a 40, 35, you'd know that she wasn't going to get bred. Other than that, dog behavior will give you an idea about something might be going on, because typically dogs that are out of heat won't allow other dogs to mount them, and they'll snap at them and growl. But in your situation, my guess is you probably had something like a split heat going on here. Oh, here you go. Trent M. I don't blame Tammy for one bit for getting on that high horse about parvo. With me running a rescue, and if you obviously are, congratulations, Trent. We really appreciate what you do for doggies. That's great. We see a lot of people who aren't doing what they should, and unfortunately I deal with parvo on a regular basis. because of it. And unfortunately, if they have, it's a 50-50 shot if they'll survive and come out of it. Yep, there's more here. That's not come out of it situation. That's not pristine. The mortality rate just goes up from there, especially when you can fully vaccinate your dogs yourself, except for rabies. It's a little ridiculous not to do it all. You're a big help and help people trying to save a little money, offering alternatives that are exactly the same. If they can't listen to good advice, unfortunately, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot force them to drink. Appreciate. Yes. Well, we're just going to reiterate what Trent's saying here and what Tammy was saying before. You can do all of these vaccinations yourself. If money's the issue, vaccinate yourself. The only vaccination that you can't do and get a tag for is a rabies tag. You can still do a rabies tag and vaccination yourself. You just won't get a tag for it, and you're legally supposed to have a tag for a dog that's out in general public. So for all of our dogs, they go get their rabies shots on a yearly and a semi-annual basis, depending on what the dogs are, for their rabies tags, for their rabies shots. These shots are not expensive, and parvo is a very, very virulent virus. It is very infectious, and puppies do not get full immunity from it until they're probably 6 months older anyway. And it starts by giving shots at, and the way we do this is at 6 months, 6 weeks, 9 weeks, and 12 weeks. And then a vaccination shot at, I wish Tammy was here, I think it's 15. But if you don't do that, you run the risk that your dogs get parvo, and it's a bad day when it happens. And you will have a fight to have those a chance of success of those dogs surviving. And even if you do it, there's no guarantee the dogs will survive. And dogs that survive may have other complications afterwards too. You don't want parvo. You want no part of it. I have been through this personally. I had it happen to me with some labs that went to the vet. One went to the vet, and there was a dog in there with parvo, and I realized there was a dog in with parvo, and I turned around and left the vet's office. But my handle, just my hand on the door handle to that office was enough to transfer parvo from the handle. Well, the customer went in with a sick dog, got the parvo onto the handle. I touched the handle. I then touched a dog. Every single dog got parvo. And that bad day, it was horrible. So Trent is right. Trent is saying, don't F up on this. Go get your dogs vaccinated. It's the single most important thing that you can do for a puppy, is to vaccinate dogs. JF is making a guess about who Kiku's bred to. Kiku, my guess, was bred to Buble. Nope, it's not it. That is not it. I'm just going to tell you this right now. Well, now she's pregnant, I think we should announce it, but for some reason Tammy doesn't want to do it. She was bred to another Euro hero, and a very special one. So there's your little teaser on that one for you. Got time for one more. Nope, I get someone calling me. Better take this call. Bye, buddy. See ya. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.